Muhammad Ali once went in the airplane. And he was sitting in the airplane and it was about to take off. The air hostess came and told, "Sir, can you please put on the seat belt?" And he looked at the air hostess and he said, "Superman doesn't need the seat belt." So this air hostess was a bit smart. She looked at Muhammad Ali and said, "Neither Superman needs airplane." We always become very complacent. Like Muhammad Ali thought he doesn't need a seat belt, whereas he needed one. We also think we don't need any correction in our life. We don't need anybody to come and tell where you need to change. And that's the time we become very vulnerable. Let's turn to Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 15. Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love, for the grapevines are blossoming. So the little foxes are the ones that go unnoticed. Look at the foxes here. They are hiding. They are somewhere there. But we need to identify that. Little foxes actually can sneak in. They sneak in and they can actually spoil our Christian lives. Many times we are all believers, we are born again, we came to the Lord and we can give out powerful testimony, but we are not able to understand those little foxes go unnoticed in our life. One of the foxes is the problem that we face in our day-to-day life, that is a spirit of offense. So we are offended many times. We take the measures that will actually ruin somebody else's life. I meet a lot of people and ask them, "Do you go to church?" "I don't go to church." "Why you don't go to church?" "Somebody offended me." We have many people who come to the Lord just as I am. They give their life to Jesus. And the same way they come, after a few days they go. Because they are offended. They are offended with themselves. Some of them are offended with the government. Some of them are offended when somebody does not introduce that person properly. I know one place where I went. That person was not introduced in a proper order. That person felt offended. And then when you go to a grocery shop, as I mentioned, we can get offended. What about that? God's word can offend us. I know one guy who felt the preacher is so good. Every day he went for the meeting. Till he heard a message on giving. That person went to the church every day. He said, "What a beautiful message. Pastor, you come. Brother, you come." I went to the meeting. And after 3 days, he was not a good preacher. Why? Because he spoke on giving. So what offends us is anything and everything. Whenever something pricks us. My brother has a very bad habit or good habit, my elder brother. I had a lot of weaknesses in my life. And I have overcome quite a lot. And whenever I testify to him that I have overcome this problem in my life, he's very wise man. So what he does is he nicely pushed that into somewhere. He will pull me into that and put me into that and see whether I'm really out of that problem or not. And I've come to know many times I still have a long way to go. Amen. We have to learn that even message from the church, we might all feel the message is good, but one word we speak that could offend. That in a week you have this many minutes, and out of these minutes, 1 minute, out of that 1 minute, someone told something, you ruin the whole week or even whole month and whole life. See, offense is very bad. Now the question arises, what is Bible talking about? This offense is what we have to learn, right? What does the Bible say, right? First of all, let's look at Luke chapter 17, verse 1. This is none other than Jesus who mentioned. Then he said to the disciples, it is impossible. Can we all say impossible? So it is impossible that no offenses should come, but both to him, through him, they do come. So offenses do come in our life. We are offended. We will be offended. If we are not offended in the past, guarantee, because the word of God says, it is impossible that no offenses should come. Then Matthew chapter 24, again, verse 10. Matthew chapter 24 is all about the last days. Right? How many of you believe we are in the last days? Especially with all these things what we see around, we are in the last days. Amen? So let's not be frightened of the of the coronavirus, let's look at Jesus. When are you coming, Jesus? I'm waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? Are you glad? So here, Bible says when Jesus talked about the last days, Bible says then many will be offended. Did Jesus say again? Then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. It's a process. When you are offended, what comes out of the offense is very important. Offense, I always say murder, we look at the person who is being killed, but we don't understand when actually the murder has taken place. It's not when the person is dead. Actually, the murder has taken place when the thought of the murder is born in the person's mind. So the same way, when somebody is offending you, you will see the process will betray one another and will hate one another. It brings hatred, it brings bitterness, it brings jealousy, it brings rivalry, it brings the point where we want to win over the other person. Verse 12, and because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. Next thing, so you look at the process here. What happens to the offense? It brings the hatred, bitterness, and resentment, and it brings out even the love of many will grow cold. Whenever there is an offense, always remember, either we set it right, or else we will see the love is going to get colder and colder and colder. Have you seen, I have noticed some of the people who hug just so much, ooh, like this. But after some time, the offense take place, the hugging is just like this. And then, slowly, then, you know what I'm saying? It goes in so fast. I know one guy who called up and said, Acha, today, I don't know, I was thinking what happened to me. I was wondering, there's something that I think is missing. I should have done. And I was wondering, what is that? And then I remembered, I didn't call Acha. He called up my number and he said, Acha, how are you? That man, after a few days, he felt offended. One day he came to my office, the Holy Spirit told me, I see a dark force around you. You better come back to the Lord. I can see there's something happening. He felt offended. He said, you can speak from the flesh. And he went into all kinds of problems. Offense becomes so much that you don't take even what comes from the Holy Spirit seriously. And then what happens? He doesn't even remember to call me. He doesn't remember to call you. The offenses are so much, Now the question arises here, what is the consequence of offense is what we need to learn today. It brings anger, it brings resentment, it brings fury in the life of people, bitterness, and also it leads you to the unforgiveness. Offense is totally unproductive. Offense is totally unproductive. It steals your peace, your joy, your energy, your power, and can even steal your health in the long term. You want to write down? Offense is totally unproductive. It steals your peace, it steals your joy, it steals your energy, it steals your power, and even can steal your health, and yet it does not produce anything. That's the beautiful part of it, underlining part. After going through all this, if it produces something, it's fine. But it produces nothing. You become empty, you become angry. And the next one, if you want to write down, your value. What happens is, when somebody offends you, what do you think happens to that person? Your value. You have an estimation of your value, right? Think about it. You evaluated yourself somewhere, something. And that value that you have got in your life or in your mind, somebody has evaluated you below that what you thought. Low esteem that he brings out in your mind. He offends you, right? So let me correct you somewhere here. Your value should not be determined by how somebody else has treated you. Can somebody take the value that you got? Nobody. Nobody can. So your value should not be determined by all these things. I want to give you one illustration. What happens when you're offended. Very interesting story. Do you know what happened? It's in the 2 Samuel chapter 9. David is now a king. No, wait. David is now a king. The background is, David is now a king. He is in a very good mood. You know what he's in? He is in a good mood. What is his mood? You know that? All of a sudden he's looking back. So he called Mephibosheth in chapter 9. And he made him sit at the dining table. We all know the story, right? He calls him at the dining table and he had a dinner, beautiful story and all those things. Then in chapter 10, let's turn to chapter 10. He's in that mood. Let me go and, bless the people who showed kindness to me. Huh? So here David goes to someone. Let's go to chapter 10, verse 1.
It happened after this that the king of the people of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his place. Then David said,
I will show kindness to Hanun, the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness to me.
So David sent by the hand of his servants to comfort him concerning his father. And David's servants came into the land of the people of Ammon.
And here David is sending some delegates, high delegates, top delegates to him, right? And he goes in there and look at this verse here. David sent by the hand of his servants to comfort him. Remember, comfort him concerning his father.
And the princes of the people of Ammon said to Hanun their lord,
Do you think that David really honors your father because he has sent comforters to you? Has David not rather sent his servants to you to search the city, to spy it out, and to overthrow it?
Look at this statement. Do you think that David really honors your father? What was the purpose? The purpose was that he wanted to go and show kindness. And he sent some people. But what do the people perceive there? They started finding a way to push that whole purpose down, right? So they said they misunderstood, or rather whatever it is. Do you think that David really honors your father because he has sent comforters to you? Has David not rather sent his servants to you to search the city, to spy it out and overthrow it? Total misunderstanding. And then, result of that misunderstanding is what you should learn. You want to know what happened? Oh, you should know this. Look at verse 4.
Therefore Hanun took David's servants, shaved off half their beards, cut off their garments in the middle, at their buttocks, and sent them away.
I will tell you, from the Middle Eastern culture, do you know how much they value the beard? It's a big thing for them. So just imagine, he's not removing the beard. He's cutting them half of. Just imagine. It's strange. Why? I don't know why he didn't do that full. Shaved off half of their beards. Hey, look at the next part. Cut off their garments in the middle at. Oh, I don't want to even spell it. It's bad, right? It's nice to, look at the way you treat people. The whole purpose of that person coming here was to show kindness. And they misunderstood. Somebody told something, and that has resulted, the king has considered that opinion as the best one and the correct one, and instead of just sending them off, they wanted to humiliate them. And just imagine, cut off their garments in the middle at their buttocks and send them away. Just imagine, they are not ordinary people, they are dignified people. And you send them with half beard and then all this open enough, and they are going on the way. It looks very bad. It looks very, very strange. You want to humiliate people? Even your good actions, your good intentions are many times turning into an offense to you. You did not intend to do that too, but then that other person turned out to humiliate you so much. You know what happened afterwards? Verse 6 and 7.
When the people of Ammon saw that they had made themselves repulsive to David, the people of Ammon sent and hired the Syrians of Beth-Rehan and the Syrians of Zobah, 20,000 foot soldiers, and from the king of Maacah 1,000 men, and from Ishtab 12,000 men.
How many total? How many people in total? 20,000 soldiers, 1,000 and then 12. 33,000 people for what, Somebody has gone and showed the kindness, and as a result of that, it turns into a battle now. And 33,000 people go. But let's look at the verse 18. The result, by listening to this terrible lie that someone spoke, the result was very much terrible than even what you see here. Look at verse 18. Then the Syrians fled before Israel, and David killed how many people? 700 charioteers and 40,000 horsemen of the Syrians. 40,700 people were killed. Come on. We are frightened of the coronavirus here. The record says that it is not as bad as what people are talking about. Almost 50% people are already recovered. Let me tell you, good news. 50% people are already back. They are okay with everything. So what I wanted to tell you, it's bigger than the coronavirus. And even coronavirus, how many people died? Do you know that? We are talking so much, 5,000 people died. Here, 40,700 people are recorded here as killed. Which is bigger virus, my friend? That virus has gone into continents and different regions, and something like 159 countries or something is affected now. Whereas we are talking about just one action has resulted in killing so many people and creating such a big havoc. So better be careful when you speak. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. Be careful, little mouth, what you speak. Huh? Remember, when you speak, don't become God. Yeah, don't become. Ask a question. Does it glorify God? Does it glorify God? I have brought the consequences of getting offended. It's bad if I don't compare and complete something on the other side. You want to know the consequences of not getting offended? Do you want to know? Consequences of not getting offended. You know the true mark of a champion is that no matter what. True mark of a Christian is no matter what, he will not feel offended. Do you know who is our best person? Jesus. He was offended every time. People offended him every time. But he never bothered. The best place was they all mocked, ridiculed him, and he went on to say, Father, they know not what they are doing, forgive them. Amen. Offenses, we need to know how to take it. Amen. Now, I want to bring out a champion story. We know the story of David. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many people were called? In 1 Samuel chapter 16. 7 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looked at 1? No. Looked at 2nd? No. Looked at 3? No. 4? No. 5? No. 6? No. 6. Oh, that's all? Oh my goodness. Where is, do you have anybody else? Oh yeah, I've got one guy who is in the field. Do you know something? How humiliating it is for you. Trust me. Anybody here, if you are treated that way, do you know what is that offense here? You are not even considered as a worthy person in the family. You're not even considered to be a worthy person. People have stamped you just because he happens to be a diligent guy doing something in the field. There are people who show off and they get the cake very well. There are people who do a lot of things behind the curtain. They don't get anything. They don't get noticed anywhere. And here, David is humiliated so badly. Are you getting? Are you getting that? Do you think about the intensity of that? David is humiliated so badly. But if that was the only thing, I'm talking about the family culture. It is a family culture. The family, I'm talking about even Cornerstone Church, family culture, our family culture, any culture. How do we treat our people? How do we look at our own people? We can open the door for somebody who comes into the shopping mall, who you don't even see. In business, I've learned a term that's called one time he visits, he may never come back again. They are one-stop customers. They will just come. They will just come and go. But we are very much concerned about those people who you are never going to see. We will go, all smile. Oh, how are you, man? Oh, you know what? I just show artificial smile and everything. But to your own people, you find it difficult to smile. Paul said, love your own wives. Thank God he wrote, because we love others' wives. What do you think if I tell Susan saying that, do you know that lady is looking so beautiful? I love her so much. I never told her. Very easy to love somebody. Very easy to love somebody. But we have to learn to love the people who you have got in your own life. Amen. Huh? Brother? Brother? Love your own wives. Amen. Love your own wives. Love your own husbands. Whatever it is, I always tell her, I may not be the best person in terms of everything, but whatever it is God has given to her, nothing can be done. So she has to sing that song, no longer I am a slave to fear, I am a child of God. You know what? What I want to bring out is, this is a family culture I want to bring out. Look at the family culture. He is not being considered. And then it goes on. And then the brothers have noticed in front of them, all of a sudden, 7 brothers, and David is being anointed. You're not even considered, but you are anointed. And now the severity of the offense is increasing. And you suddenly see that David is treated all the more differently, right? Look at 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 28. Now, Eliab is the biggest villain for David. Why? Because he was the eligible candidate, which I told earlier once in one earlier message. Now, Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men, and Eliab's anger was aroused against David, and he said, why did you come down here, and with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and the insolence of your heart, for you have come down to see the battle. Offenses. Because you have not considered the other person worthy. Amen. Are you getting? It's a different, I'm not giving any negative message. I'm speaking from the word. How do we look and view things? How do we consider our own family members? All are equal. Do you believe that? All are equal. God has placed everyone in our life for a reason and for a season. And we must know how to accept everybody the way they are. Then look at verse 29. David said, what have I done now? Is there not a cause? Then he turned from him toward another and said the same thing. And these people answered him as the first ones did. What I want to bring out is the family culture. He is not being considered. I'm talking to a psychologist who knows a little bit psychology. Think about that, how you think of David. He is being sent by his father. Am I right? He was sent by his father, and he comes to the location because his father sent him. And his brothers, instead of saying thank you, hey, thank you for the food. Hey, come on. Don't you think that was a good idea? His father said, my children, they are sitting in the field, just go. Instead of saying thank you, oh wow, you brought pizza or bread or whatever it is, thank you very much. They were humiliating this guy. What are you doing here? Why are you coming here? What are you doing? Accusing. We do many times in our day-to-day lives. Accusing, misunderstanding the purpose of a person. But do you know one thing? On one side we talked about how one was offended and that turned into killing and destruction of many people. But here you can see that he did not take the offense of those people. Bible says he turned one after the other. Eliab, he turned one after the other. And his cause and purpose was to go and fight with Goliath. Amen. The champions will not stand in between. The champions will go forward in life. Amen. Do you know why this comes? That's the next one. How do you overcome? Next one. How to overcome. Before you understand how to overcome, let's say now, if you have a sickness, how do you overcome the sickness if you have not identified you have a problem? You need to identify that you have a problem. Something is messing in my life. Something is missing in my life. Something is to be done in my life. The first thing is identify the problem. And if you want to read 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 24, Paul mentions to Timothy like this: the servant of the Lord must not quarrel. Hey, did it say that? And be gentle to all, able to teach, patient, and then in humility correcting those who are in opposition, if God perhaps will grant them repentance. What's the purpose is very important. So that, what's the so that? So that they may know the truth. What's the truth that they are not having? You look at this. That they may come to their, what? Senses, proper understanding, and escape the snare of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. We are many times captivated because the devil wants to take us. By the way, do you know what's the meaning of offense in the Bible? In the Greek? Offense in the Greek is mentioned as scandalon. Do you know that? Scandalon. The pronunciation is scandalon, yes. And I just took it exactly what I got from the Eastward. It says that a scandal, a trapstick, that is a snare, occasion to fall, of stumbling. Okay? Offense, think that offense, it's a stumbling block. It's a kind of a bait. Like the devil comes to put the bait in you. You know, if you're being called, we identify the problem, the devil has taken us captive. And we are unable to move. We are totally captivated and we sing, captivate my heart. No, it doesn't happen. You come out of that. Understand what the enemy is trying to do in your life. Amen. Scary thing is that people are in that trap. What do you think the devil does, you know? Have you seen how you catch the rat? You put something that lure the rat. Similarly for anything. That's exactly what the devil does. He will bring in something that will, captivate your heart and make you feel different. You become unproductive. You become angry. So what happens? You lose your focus. Let's say my focus is to preach. And suddenly my focus went on to, oh my goodness, Shima is not listening to my message properly. Yeah. Shima is not saying amen in between. My focus goes on that. And then I am preaching with that in mind, but I'm not looking at Shima. But it's there. That is there in my mind. So what happens? Then the rest of the whole message is all because Shima did not say, but I'm preaching. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm talking practical something. Let's get rid of this. What actually captivates us from progressing in our spiritual life? Amen. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 19. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city. Do you know what a strong city? How do you define a strong and a weaker city? Come on. Huh? Walls. You're right. Walls. If the walls are not strong, it's not a strong city. So the devil comes here and he brings the spirit of offense in you and he makes the strong city weaker. And sometimes you come to a point that your strong city becomes totally being defeated by somebody. Amen. Hallelujah. Now in the New Testament, Apostle Paul brought out the same thing, the strong city, by talking about strongholds. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3, he says, even though we walk in the flesh, I understand, Paul says, we do not war according to the flesh. Why? For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God. We sing that song, wait. For pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments, and every high thing must come down. Every stronghold shall be broken. But high thing is not broken. Without that high thing is not broken, you will not be able to enjoy that stronghold broken in your life. Amen. Every high thing must come down. Every stronghold shall be broken because you wear the victor's crown. Amen. You wear the victor's crown. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts. Oh, Jesus. Exalts what? Exalts what? What do you mean by that? Exalts? What? Yourself, itself. Stop exalting yourself. Something that the Holy Spirit taught me today. Jesus, I want to bring out joy. He said that we lose the joy when we are offended. Amen. We lose the joy. I never thought I would even think about that aspect. I was so fascinated when the Holy Spirit taught me, as something like 2 o'clock today. He said, when you lose your joy is when you're offended by somebody. Right? But why you lose your joy? Huh? No. Why you lose your joy? Can you read the other way? Joy. J-O-Y. Y-O-J. Y-O-J. Yourself comes first. You always go to church, you want to be known yourself. Are you getting? No. Reverse, yeah. Yourself first. The key to joy is Jesus first, others second, you third. But when you put you first, others second, Jesus last, it's another way, edge God out. You edging God out completely. Your ego comes up so much. Your pride comes up so much. You lose your humility so much. And you only think about who cares, who talked about me, who said something about me, what is my position, and somebody did not, introduce me the way. Whenever you think about why first. Amen. When you think about others second. Whereas Philippians should, what is Paul writing in the book of Philippians? Consider others better than yourself. Why? What is the key to, what is the theme of book of Philippians? What is the theme? Anybody can say? Theme is joy. Rejoice. Rejoice. How many times Paul went on saying rejoice, joy, joy. Amen. When you want joy, consider others better than yourself. Can we do that today? Considering others better than. Hey, Sam, you played the drum today. Hey, come on, Sam, I feel bad that you took my position here. I was playing the drum, bongo till recently, last year. Every time when you play the drum, I can think that. Why not I think that? I'm also human. I'm just a man. But instead of that, I start thinking, God, you brought somebody. Amen. Let him enjoy. You think, Renji, I cannot sing? Every high thing must come down. I can sing. But may not be like you are singing. But why not I think? But I'll tell you, consider others better than yourself. Amen. Hallelujah. Don't try to say, I am everything. And then you say, I am a child of God. Hey, come on. Hallelujah. Joy is when you start considering others better. And then Jesus as the whole thing, bring Jesus. Don't just sing, Jesus be the center of my life. Jesus be the center of my life. Where is Jesus? Nowhere. Even while singing, we are saying, God, I be the center of my life. Yeah. Amen. Start considering these things. It's very important. I'm giving you some keys how to get out of these things. Then thought into let's look at the 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5 itself. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity. Every thought. Can we all say every thought? Every thought where? What? Into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Let's give it to God. Amen. And being ready to punish. What is the punishment you require? Be ready to punish. You remember we prayed in the morning, in the evening, just now, before we started? Bringing everything, punish all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Amen. I'm telling you something. Joseph was being offended. David was being offended. Every time people are being offended. The biggest thing? When somebody offends you, when you make a call. I know sometimes I make a call to some companies here, Fido or anybody, they would say something which would offend me, which would make me feel bad. But I don't even know who is the guy or lady there. But you know where we feel bad? The offenses come mostly from the people who you love. Amen. Yeah. They offend you more. Why? Because your expectations are higher. Disappointments, it's because of unreasonable expectation. And when you relate with your own people, you come with an expectation. And that expectation, if that is not met, you feel bad about it and you're offended. The same, look at Psalmist, what he says in Psalm 55. He says in verse 11, everything is falling apart. Threats and cheating are rampant in the streets. Verse 12, it's not an enemy who taunts me. Huh? I could bear that. Did it say? I could bear that. It is not an enemy who taunts me. If it's an enemy, it's okay. We expect the enemy to taunt you. But what if your dear one taunts you? Huh? Oh, it's going to be very bad. Look at what Psalmist says. It's not my foes who so arrogantly insult me. I could have hidden from them. Instead, it is you, my equal, my companion, and my close friends. They offend me. They offend me. They speak things that should not be spoken. They behave the way they should not be behaving. It's because of the close-knit family. Amen. But instead of that, when you're offended, you should know something. Let's go to the word again. I'm going to close in a few minutes. Now comes a very important aspect of offense, which again I'm so happy that the Holy Spirit taught me. I don't know how this verse can come. Do you know in the Bible in Mark chapter 11, Jesus mentioned have faith in God in verse 22. Keep that in mind. Got it? Okay. Let's look at Luke chapter 17. Verse 5. Only verse 5. Luke chapter 17, only verse 5. Can you read this? And the apostles said to the Lord, increase our faith. Good. Can we all clap? Increase our faith. Good. What's the faith you require? When do you need your faith? When do you need your faith? Test, trials. Good. Good. But look at the context of this passage. Let's read the verse 1. Remember that also have faith in God in the other passage. Two things. He said to the disciples, it's impossible that no offenses should come. Verse 1. But woe to him through whom they do come. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea than that he should offend one of these little ones. Verse 3. Take heed to yourselves. If your brother sins against you, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. Verse 4. And if he sins against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day returns to you saying, I repent, you shall forgive him. Wait, don't take the next verse. You shall forgive him. What do you need more? Yeah. Why you need faith? I don't understand the context. Keep that. I'm not going to answer right now. Look at the next passage. Mark chapter 11. Verse 22. Have faith in God. Next verse. For I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Good. Very good. Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them. We all know this verse, and you will have them. Verse 25, whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive your trespasses. But if you forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses. Your faith is tested, not when you are in the church. Every high thing come. When you sing, no problem. It's very easy. See, I don't need faith to say hallelujah. Do you think I need faith? I need Holy Spirit to say hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I don't need Holy Spirit to say that. Jesus, I don't need Holy Spirit to say that. What I need when I need the Holy Spirit is when I cannot do it on my own. I need faith. Amen. Increase my faith, Jesus. I have faith, but I cannot do it on my own strength. I cannot forgive when this guy, stupid guy, idiot guy has come every day and offended me. And he comes, sorry. Again he offends. Again he says sorry. Have you faith? You need faith. Faith that when you forgive that person, amen, you will be forgiven. Why? Because Bible says in Mathew chapter 5, Sermon on the Mount, verse 23, it says, therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave that gift there. Is there anybody who has anyone who you think you should be forgiving? I want you to go back and say sorry to that person. Amen. I say that sometimes even with this coronavirus, go and hug that person. God will still take care. Leave the gift there before the altar and go your way. First, be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Agree with your adversary quickly while you're on the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge. You know one thing? Before I close, I want to tell you. If you move in this offense, what is the first thing you can do is, number one, if you're offended, I don't want to take this offense. Amen. Real life. We are supposed to learn not to run after the offenses. Amen. Just let it go. Leave the offenses. Leave the words that somebody has spoken. It actually ruins our spiritual life. I'm telling you that. There are many times I have been hurt. I've been offended by a lot of people. I find it very difficult sometimes. I found it very difficult sometimes to forgive many people. But I've learned one thing. I know one person who offended me so badly. I met that person a few years ago and I said, I want you to pray for me. And that person prayed for me. That person was about to pray. And I said, wait, I want you to lay your hands on me and pray. And that person laid the hand and prayed. You won't believe that person was totally in tears. Did I talk about the offense? No. Did I talk about what that person did to me? No. I did not. What I did was, I was breaking the shackles. Amen. Hallelujah. I was breaking the shackles. I have another person who offended me so badly. Offended me so badly that Anyone in my position would never see that person again. But I had the privilege of having dinner with that guy many times. But we never spoke about that anytime. Never. God is a witness. I never spoke anytime that you offended me. Let it go. He never showed anything. I never showed anything. What is important is what has happened is happened. Let's move forward. Amen. Before anything, what is the key to success of Joseph's life is he was offended. He was put in slavery. But years later, in Genesis, when he sees his brothers, he was in a position where he could have punished them. But he said, who am I? Am I God? Am I God? Don't become God. Let's not become God. Why? One thing. Two things in the Bible God said, it's mine. One is vengeance is mine. And another thing God said is tithe is mine. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Leave it to him. We don't want to become God. Are we trying to become God by judging somebody? Amen. Can we just take few minutes? I don't want anything to be done. Just pause for a few minutes. Just sit in his presence. Just close your eyes. Just ask yourself. Just ask the Holy Spirit. Did I offend anybody? That's the first question. Did I offend anyone? Ask the Holy Spirit to give that person's picture. Show that person to you. And tell the Holy Spirit, I'm truly asking you to show me that person. I want to say sorry to that person. The next question is there anyone who offended me? I want to go back to that person still and say, I forgive you for that. Did our spouses offend us? Did our children offend us? Did we offend our children? Whatever it is, how is the relationship with the dear ones? Are we carrying the bitterness and those offenses that came into us? Those words that really entered into our hearts and our minds, and it has captivated us completely. Ask the Holy Spirit to give us some sort of release from those things today. Because we are all called for the ministry. I want to tell you that we will be used immensely once we learn this. Go back when you reach home. Read Mathew chapter 18 from verse 18 onwards. You will come to know how powerful it is. If two of you agree on this earth, he says, I will come into your midst and I will release everything. And in the same chapter it's mentioned that what you loose on this earth will be loosed in heaven. What you bind in this earth will be bound in heaven. So what is binding us today? Release it. Let it go off. Let it go off. It's a moment for us to get into the presence of God today. Ask the Holy Spirit. We know that there are so many things that can happen wonderfully in our life. Is that we carry many of these things and we are not able to move forward. We are not able to relate with people the way we should. We are not able to love. As in the gospel it's mentioned that love diminishes as the day go by because offenses keep increasing. You can pray a prayer in your own mind if the Holy Spirit is leading.